Talk Real Estate with Sharon McNamara, sponsored by Boston Connect Real Estate Services.
Hi, I'm your host, Sharon McNamara, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. Let me share a little bit about my background before we get started. I am the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate, a boutique firm that is home to over 30 real estate sales and marketing agents who service home buyers and home sellers throughout Boston, the South Shore, the South Coast, and Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my co-host Melissa Wallace and I will provide you with my team's unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We value the experience of our agents at Boston Connect Real Estate so much that not only will you hear my perspective on real estate topics, occasionally you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And hello to all our South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable, and Tim was correct. I am Melissa Wallace, and I'm joined live and in studio by Tracy Grady.
Good morning, South Shore.
Good morning.
Here I am.
Yay! South Shore and beyond. Hello. Yes, we asked you at the final hour last night. I apologize. It's been a week. It has certainly been a week.
It's been a week.
I can't believe that now November is halfway over. We're almost at December.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
then it'll be 2026.
Yeah, it's going to be done. It's weird because when I started working at the town hall in Hanover at the beginning of the year, I think I started like January 6th. And on the wall and I thought it was the craziest thing, but it lived like a Bible. Now, there's 3 calendar months always on this whiteboard. Mm-hmm. So you cross off the month and you put the next month up. Yeah. I have never seen a year go by faster.
I know.
Since I started using that whiteboard. I'm writing December. How is that even possible?
I'm not sure. Yeah. Tim, do you feel like this year has gone by pretty quickly?
Yeah, it moved at a good pace.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know what happened this year.
I don't know.
But, whatever. It's okay.
On
to the next.
On to the next.
To the next year. We have another one.
Yeah, but it also seems like the older we get, the faster the time goes.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. My father was a famous one for that. He's like, enjoy these times now because all of a sudden it's like a freight train out of control going downhill. And that's what it feels like. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like this year has gone by pretty quickly. And then
you had a big year.
Every once in a while,
you've had a big year.
Every couple of days or so, someone will be like, "Oh my gosh, you're engaged." I'm like, "Yeah, we got engaged in June." And they're like, "Oh, when's the date?" I'm like, "Oh gosh." I'm like, "We don't have it," and then I can see it on their face, like, "Oh, you're behind."
I'm already behind, and I haven't even scheduled anything.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, I went and got my ring cleaned." And I was like, because they say, "Oh, come in every 6 months, and we'll inspect it and all that." Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I was already ready for an inspection."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I didn't realize this. Yeah, the year has gone by pretty quickly, but the past couple shows we've been talking about fall and just preparing for winter. And last week, Sharon and I had 5 callers. Tim, we had 5 callers.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it was a very good show.
We sort of swindled them into calling because we said that
what did you promise them?
We did have a goodie to give away. Yeah,
we did have a goodie to give away. So 5 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards, $20 Dunkin' Donuts gift cards.
Go.
So of course on Monday morning there I was getting the gift cards.
Gift cards.
So all of those went out in the mail. No post on Tuesday, so they went in on Wednesday. So hopefully by now everybody has gotten them, but.
And if not, you will have them soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because we sent out those gift cards and sent out the gift cards for our jack-o'-lantern contest and our pet costume contest. So there was a lot going on this week. I was very busy.
Edna won best costume at the Dog's Den.
Oh,
she
that's
won
so
best
fun.
costume. Yeah, I didn't send her in a costume.
Wait a minute.
I didn't send her in a costume.
I was going to say you didn't even submit Edna to our costume contest, but she won at the Dog's Den.
She won at the Dog's Den. And I was going to put her in the same costume that I wore to the restaurant. I was going to put her in a spice rack.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot. I got there and I'm like, oh my God, it's Halloween at the Dog's Den. And I forgot a costume for my dog. And she won.
Yeah. In case you don't know what a spice rack is, Tracy worked the bar on Halloween at Christina's restaurant here in Pembroke. And she wore a bra a red bra outside of her shirt with spices in it.
Yep.
Bottles of spices. So she was a spice rack.
It was pretty funny, though.
We'll see what you come up with next year.
Funny.
But yeah, that was pretty funny. You came around the corner like mysterious, like you were, making a drink and everything. She's like, guess what I am? I'm like, a spice rack?
A spice rack? You got it. I got Spice Girl. A lot of people were like, Spice Girl? I'm like, no, come on. You can do better than that.
Yeah, you want to say spice and,
Yeah,
and
it was
the
close.
Spice Girls probably wore their bra outside their shirt at some point because they were it.
Little spices. I had my cinnamon in there. I even tapped somebody off with a drink. Hold on, let me go into my. Oh no, I only have cumin and cinnamon. That'll work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But yeah, no, that was perfect. But like I said, we sort of asked you last minute last night if you would do the show with me, and of course you did.
Of course I will.
Of course.
Yep.
Of course. So yeah, we appreciate that. So Sharon is not joining us today. She might be listening though.
Probably.
So, yeah, probably. But we did have an agenda. So, we sort of get off course here. But, it's us. And if you don't like it, that's okay.
You can take a turn at any point.
You can take a turn at any point. But we are going to be talking about final walkthroughs. So we've sort of geared the past few shows based off of fall and the weather that we're going to have and winter. And I'll get back to our show last week. So we had the 5 callers because we did a poll of, if you were a seller in today's market and you were planning on selling right now, would you wait until after the holidays or would you put the house on the market now? Overwhelming, everybody said no.
No.
I'm pretty sure all 5 callers called in and said, why not? Like, if you can't sell your house unless it's on the market. So
correct. And you can't everybody's like, if we all knew what the best time of the year was to put your house on the market, then we'd all be doing. We'd have a better hold of what the market is doing.
Yeah,
but
every single house would come on the market on the exact same day.
Yeah, so you just never know. It's got to be what's good for you, what you're comfortable with. I mean, some people do not want to be interrupted during the holidays. They have too many things going on. They host a lot of parties or things like that. Then I would say, if you're that type of a person, then you probably want to wait because you don't want to be constantly trying to, schedule your life around, people wanting to see your house.
But also here's the thing, even if that is you and you are looking to sell your house and, whatever the circumstance is, we talked about the serious buyers that are out during that time.
Is absolutely
because
correct.
It's also inconvenient for them. I mean, does anyone really want to be driving around in a snowstorm? No.
Looking at houses, sliding and
and like I said, in the show last week and a lot of shows I've said is, the right time to sell is when you're ready, but also there are buyers coming into the buying pool every single day.
Every single day. Yep.
Like people are getting pre-approved and joining the buyer pool every single day.
Yes.
Much like somebody selling their house every day, a buyer is looking at that house every single day.
Yep.
So,
we just had our house that we just got under agreement in Pembroke. That was on the market and it's a beautiful home. It's a perfect, what I would consider to be a really lovely colonial in a neighborhood. I mean, it ticks off a lot of boxes for
very desirable.
Very desirable. And it sat for a little while. And they waited it, and they were not coming down because in their position, they did not have to move. They want to sell. I mean, they were absolutely wanting to sell, but they also were like, but I'm not in a rush. So I'm going to wait it out. So things are just different. I want to say back to normal, or
I know,
because we
it's
just
hard
went
to
through
say.
such an up and down with COVID and
Mm-hmm.
houses coming on the market and selling, bidding wars and selling over asking and people throwing numbers at it. And that's just doesn't seem to be happening anymore right now. So,
yeah, I've definitely seen more properties sort of stay on the market for a little while.
definitely longer than
the
they were,
days
yeah.
on market are getting up there a little bit, more than what they have been in the past couple of years. So,
And then you don't want to rush in and be like, well, we had to knock the price down because we didn't sell it in the first weekend. Like, they got to get out of that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, sorry,
Yeah.
we didn't sell it in the first weekend, so we have to come down right away.
Yeah.
And they were not. They stayed the course, and they did. Yeah, they did very well.
Yeah,
And again,
worked out for
it's
them.
a lovely home. So I mean, I thought they did the right thing.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about walkthrough, so in the upcoming, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to ask you when the closing date is because we don't want to announce that to the world. But sometime soon. So
Correct.
sometime soon you
Sometime
will
in the
be
next month.
Yeah, sometime soon you will be conducting a final walkthrough.
Correct.
So why don't you tell all of our listeners what a final walkthrough is and why it's important?
So a final walkthrough happens usually 24 hours. Well, I've also started with my sellers because when we had our nightmare conversation when I was here for that
and we'll
show.
talk about a nightmare too.
I've got those too.
Yeah.
Even final walkthroughs, sometimes they don't go the way you plan them. But the idea is that you will go into the house 24 hours. I always make sure my sellers are now out 24 hours prior to closing. We are not packing while people are doing
Consider
their final
the date
walkthrough.
before your closing date, so you got to be out.
Exactly. Like I write it right into the contract now. 24 hours prior to closing, we will not be here. So, and everybody's fine with that. They're like, "Oh yeah, I don't want to be here." I'm like, "Yeah, you'd be surprised though. There are people
When you
that
start
are
to
still
pack and you're like, "Oh
wrapping
my
up
gosh."
the china,
Yeah.
an hour before closing." So it gives the buyer an opportunity to do one final walk through the house to make sure that nothing has changed. They didn't take something with them that was promised to stay. There isn't all of a sudden a hole in the wall or a mechanical that's not working. I mean, you do your home inspection, so you check off all your boxes, and they, the buyers in this case, did their home inspection, so they kind of knew what they want. In this case, we are going to look at one mechanical while we're there because the home inspector couldn't make it work at the time, and we found out it was temperature driven, it was not mechanical that you could just turn it on and off. So we are going to, we're going to show that to the buyer to make sure that they understand how to use it. And basically, that's why you do your final walkthrough. You don't want any surprises. You don't want to close and then walk into the house and realize, oh my God, they took all the light fixtures with them, and those were supposed to stay.
Yeah.
So that's why we do that's why we do final walkthroughs.
Yeah. I have a little agenda here, which is bizarre for us. But so just talking about the purpose of a final walkthrough. So it is not an inspection. It's rather a verification, which I love this, that the home is in the same condition as when the offer was accepted.
Yep.
No new damage has occurred during move out. All agreed upon repairs have been completed. That's a great one.
That's a good one.
Sellers have fully vacated and met the broom clean standard.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a second.
And I feel like most of my sellers...
Broom swept condition.
Broom
is what
swept
we see.
condition is basically exactly what it sounds like. You are not, it's not necessary for you to have, a clean team come in and absolutely clean the entire house and have it absolutely spotless. It is broom clean, which is, relatively clean.
Right.
But I find most of my sellers get a clean team to come in after they move out all their stuff and just do a once over, which is really nice.
Yeah, because that's not what I hear a lot.
I have never had so far walked into a situation where I felt like, what the heck happened here?
I know. That's one thing that I wish I had done when I bought my house, is had somebody just come in right before I even moved anything in and just
deep clean
it.
There is nothing like a deep clean.
There's nothing like a deep clean.
And again,
go back in time.
I think we've talked about that before. And it's really hard to walk into somebody's house that looks absolutely lovely. I mean, you're walking in as a real estate agent and you're like, you really should do a deep clean. And they look, oh, what?
I know. We're not here to offend anybody.
I am not here to offend. I am just telling you that when somebody's coming in to buy your home, they are looking deep. They are looking at your woodwork. They are looking at your windows. They are looking in the cleaner,
at the baseboards, at the floors, at the windows.
Things you don't think about all the time,
like the counters.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about that in our Five Senses show of like, you know, you run your hand across the, you know, granite countertops, and if it's all sticky,
and if you're seeing little like dust bunnies hanging from the ceiling or cobwebs or things, you're like, when's the last time these people actually?
That really just made me think, oh my gosh, I have to look at the light as soon as I walk in my house. So I have a raised ranch. So it's my ceilings are pretty high when you first walk in, and there's a light there. And now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, when's the last time I dusted that thing? And I don't know how I'm going to get up there.
Because it is like a 2-story foyer. In a split. That's pretty tough.
I have to figure that out. So
you're gonna need an extender.
And then be really, really careful because it's all glass. Yeah. So hopefully, oopsies. But that would be like. If I was a buyer walking in my house, I'd probably notice that. But I walk in my house more than once every single day, and I don't look up to look at it. No? So here we go.
Yep.
So Massachusetts purchase and sales agreements require the property to be delivered in substantially the same condition as the time of signing. Correct. The walkthrough confirms compliance. Getting very technical and legal here.
Very legalese.
How they protect buyers is buyers get peace of mind knowing the systems work, the home is empty, there's no surprises await.
There's no holes in the wall. I always say, you don't want something major. Have a tree fall. I've actually had, that's one thing that did happen on one of the condos over here.
A tree fell.
A tree fell through the roof of the condo that was already. We were
purchasing?
under. Yep. No, we were.
You were the listing agent.
We were the listing agent.
Oh.
And actually, I think we represented the buyer as well on that one. And the tree fell through the roof of the house before we were in purchase and sale, but we had not closed yet. So that had to be repaired. Yeah, that had to be taken care of. I'm like, that's going to need to be taken care of before you move in.
Oh, here's some examples. So examples of things that you can check for. So a dishwasher that stopped working during the seller's last month in the home. Mm-hmm. A leak that began after the sellers disconnected the fridge.
Oh, from
a broken
ice
window.
Yep.
Yeah, a broken window discovered behind curtains once furniture was removed.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things. So when we talk about staging, we talk about, open the curtains or even take those heavy curtains down because we're selling windows. We're not selling curtains. And in this case, this example that I just gave, you really, if you're walking through a home and your eye keeps stopping at every single little detail, but you don't see the big picture, which is the window. So you're looking at every single linen that is in the way.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
And you might not know.
And when the house is empty, you're going to get a better. You do your walkthrough, you do your home inspection, but that day before, preferably 24 hours before the closing, you're doing that final walkthrough. You're like, "Ooh, I'm really seeing the house for the first time without their stuff in there. Yeah, it's empty." And that's really your best time to walk through.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a smooth walkthrough means a smooth closing.
Yes. Yep. You always kind of hold your breath like, how'd the walkthrough go? Can you grab my lockbox too? Can you grab my lockbox?
The sign will be down in the next 3 business days.
Exactly. Yeah. It's that last holding your breath moment, like you're waiting for the purchase and sale to be signed. Yeah. You're waiting for the mortgage commitment to come through. You're waiting for your seller to move out. Yeah. And then that last final walkthrough, you're like, it's like a deep audible sigh. It's an audible sigh.
Next thing we're going to talk about is what buyers should look for during their final walkthrough. So I want to talk about verifying all repairs. So if there needs to be a repair, which usually when you are, if you do a home inspection and you ask for things to be repaired by the seller, and it usually can't happen overnight. No. So usually having, people come to the house and give estimates and then going with the best one and, remediating the issue and you have receipts of those things.
Correct. Mold right now.
Yeah.
Ours was mold. So we had to do a mold remediation. So in the attic, the home inspector found, it was not a large amount of mold, but we had a mold company come through, remediate the mold, and then we have to provide a certificate to the buyer and sign it over that the warranty for the work that was done is also going to the buyer. So the seller paid to have it done, but we're going to transfer that warranty over to the buyer and make sure that work was completed. And I like to get those certificates that we do not wait for final walkthrough. I want, if I have a certificate that's coming through, or you had plumbing work done, or you had electrical work done.
You want to verify that before you go to the closing.
Exactly. Get your receipt, make sure that the work was done to code. And
some ideas are, so bring the repair list from the purchase and sales and inspection addendum, check receipts, invoices, and warranties if provided, and discuss how to determine whether repairs were done professionally. So these are conversations that a buyer should be having with their buyer's agent, and verifying that all of that information has been received from the seller's agent, and they get it from the seller. So, just bringing that, getting back to the purchase and sale. So you have the home inspection. There's things that need to be done. They can't be done right away. And you have that time until you get to closings to make those repairs and get those receipts and warranties and things like that. You usually have like an addendum that says like, okay, these are, a repair addendum.
It lays it right out for you.
Yeah, lays it right out.
It's pretty much 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So bringing that, every time I have covered a final walkthrough for one of you guys, the agents here at Boston Connect Real Estate, I always go into Dotloop and I print out the purchase and sales agreement, and I also print out the MLS sheet just compare. But I always print out the purchase and sales because when we walk through and someone says, "Oh, where is that?" I want to be able to go in and say, "Okay, yep, it was supposed to be here," or "No,
the refrigerator was supposed to stay," or the refrigerator's always been the bane of my existence. So now I don't, unless I 100% know my seller is leaving their refrigerator and washer dryer, I leave it out.
Yeah,
and we'll get to it at some point. We'll discuss whether it's staying, whether you're buying it, whether you're leaving it, and just to stop.
So it's not to be used as another home inspection, but when you are a buyer's agent, do you test like the major systems when you do a final walkthrough?
No.
Yeah.
No. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think.
Like turn the heat on and turn the AC on.
We did all that. We did it at the home inspection. So the thought is, if I didn't do a home inspection, then maybe I would do a few of those things. But I think if it's done at the home inspection, the chances that all of a sudden the dishwasher and the heating system and the things that are built in are all of a sudden not working is probably slim to none at that point. So I would say no. But
I always open the refrigerator to make sure that it's not disgusting in there because that's
more of like a clean thing too. In the oven, did they cook a turkey dinner last night?
The microwave,
did something blow up in the microwave and that's
is like the hood vent all disgusting? Like, come on, just clean it.
It's more like visual things. I think that me going in and trying make sure the appliances.
I open all the drawers in the kitchen because there's always a junk drawer and they always leave it.
They always leave something.
I remember. So last year, Kristen Howlett, who's a full-time agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she does the show with me often. She was on vacation with her family, so I covered a final walkthrough for her in Plymouth, 4th of July week, I remember. And, met her client there. We walked through the house and everything. I opened one drawer in the kitchen and it's just junk. It's like a ruler and, paper clips and pennies and all that stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I can't believe they would leave this here." And I was like, "Not a big deal." The listing agent was there. She was there for the walkthrough. And I was like, "What would you like to do with this stuff? Like, do your clients want this?" And they're like, she's like, "Well, they're already gone, like gone. I don't know if they want their ruler." And I was like,
ruler
"Okay."
And pennies and batteries.
There was a box of trash bags left in the garage, so I grabbed a trash bag. I just threw it all in a trash bag, and boop, there you go,
done. There's
Trash.
always a drawer or something that gets missed.
Always something.
There's always
there was like
something.
a coffee sign above that, and he's like, he was like, that's not my decor. I was like, all right, let's take it. Threw that away.
Did I tell you about the pencil sharpener? I look for a pencil sharpener in every house.
I think you have.
Have I talked about that? The pencil sharpener, always in the basement, like the old metal ones that you stick the pencil in and you wind.
Like in the workshop area.
In the workshop area. I would say.
I wonder if I have one.
90. I was going to ask you if you have one in your house downstairs.
I have a workshop downstairs. I'm going to look.
To
yeah, it's covered with all my wrapping paper. That's my wrapping paper.
That's my station. That's my wrapping
paper station. So I'm going to look today.
Pencil sharpeners. I always go in, not necessarily in newer homes, but in older homes.
Yeah, I know. I have
90%,
rulers.
I would say, easily has a pencil sharpener. Hardwired.
Yeah.
hardwired into the basement.
Yeah, I know. I have rulers downstairs that are on the wall. And so I wonder if I do.
I bet you have a
pencil
I was going to ask you if you had one.
My house was built in 1964,
Oh,
so was that? Yeah, I must have a pencil sharpener down there.
You must have a pencil sharpener downstairs. Yep. Oh my God, I laugh every time I see it. I'm like, oh, found it.
That's so
I'm always
funny.
in search of.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. If you have a pencil sharpener at your house, we would love to hear from you.
Do you all have pencil sharpeners
in
your basement or somewhere?
Yeah,
it was either in the kids' bedroom or it was downstairs.
Tell us where your pencil sharpener is.
Your pencil sharpener, we know it's there.
Yeah, 781-837-4900 is the number at WATD. Again, it's 781-837-4900. If you have a pencil sharpener,
could be in your shed too. I've seen them in your shed.
Anywhere in your house. We want to hear from you. We want to know where yours is.
Where is your pencil sharpener?
We had 5 callers last week. Can we have at least one? If you're shy, you can text that number too. So. Yeah. But that's fun.
Yeah.
Check appliances. So some people are like, turn the stove and oven on, run the dishwasher. I don't think so.
Already done. Home inspector did it. They make sure that the appliances that are staying are working. It's usually the first thing a home inspector does is just start a cycle on the dishwasher and turn the stove on, and then walk away, do a few other things, and then come back to make sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So.
And that's when you know that there's a leak. So that'll go on your repair addendum.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. When you're moving, when the sellers are moving things out, that's when things can break. Floors can get marked.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Which is why I always say, just leave the refrigerator. Don't drag it across the
Leave the washer, dryer, refrigerator.
Don't drag it across the floor. I don't want to come in on the last day before closing and be like, yeah, that's a gouge in the floor that needs to be done. Oh, by the time the safe.
That's a scratch.
The safe.
Talk about the safe.
The safe. They were taking the safe out of the house again we had already closed on the house. The sellers were still moving out of the house. They thought they could go back, finish packing, but they didn't understand that
They didn't understand that once they don't own it,
they don't own it anymore. They don't own it. So the safe was coming out of the house. The movers did a great job. I mean, those guys were moving very quickly. They understood the situation, and they were taking the safe out, and the safe fell, hit the front step, knocked a brick off the front step, so that had to be repaired. I think it was 2 bricks, and that was already after it had closed. So I had to get that fixed. And luckily enough, I had a wonderful connection.
Yeah.
Yep. Teddy Kane.
Oh,
I love
Ted Kane.
Teddy Kane comes through for me.
I know Brian watches sometimes. So.
Oh, no, Brian listening. Yep.
Yeah.
Brian too. I love Brian.
Yeah. But that's awesome. So you had them come over and fix that
next
for
day,
you.
and they came the next day and fixed it for us. But it was like horrifying. As I stood there, I was like, "Don't tell me that was that." Yep, 2 bricks fell right off the stairs. I'm like, "I'll have it fixed. It'll be done."
Yeah.
ASAP. Got it done. But those are the things that can happen if you wait too long to get out of the house. Then people start to make mistakes, and things can get broken.
Yeah.
Floors can get gouged. Safes can fall on stairs.
That's funny.
Safe can fall on stairs.
My mom has texted me and said the video is so close on Instagram. I can't see you guys. Can only see your shoulders and hands. Well, it must be an interesting show for Instagram.
I don't really have a lot of shoulder.
We use this program to stream to all of our social medias and stuff, and now it's asking oh, do you want it portrait? Do you want it? Yeah, and I'm like, what? So I just do recommended for all of them, and apparently it thinks that we're just hand models. So if anybody, if that's your jam, hands, follow us on Instagram.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
Oh, that's strange.
So it'll be back to normal next week, Mom.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Examine windows, doors, and locks. Yeah. I would say make sure that the door locks. That'd be
garage door up and down.
That's good. Yes.
Garage door openers, all the keys. all the important stuff.
So we're going to get into what what should be left behind.
Yeah.
So looking for damages when move out. So scan floors for scratches, dents, gouges.
Yep.
Check for holes where TVs or shelvings were removed.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
Can you talk about brackets in the
we
walls?
were just having that conversation the other day. We did a walkthrough of the condo that our sellers are buying. And we had that conversation about the bracket left on the wall.
Yeah.
Which I think the bracket should stay on the wall because I feel like that is a permanent.
That's
like
the
there's holes.
fixture.
There are holes behind it.
Yeah.
You take the bracket off, now you're going to have holes in the wall.
And you have to patch it.
And I think
paint it.
Yeah. So I think the bracket should stay.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think the TV has to stay, but usually, in most cases, a lot of times the TV stays too, just because TVs aren't that expensive anymore. Jim and I would talk about it all the time. When we first moved into our house, the price of the TV was $3,000.
Yeah.
And now you can go buy one for like $800.
Not even. Are you kidding me? No. When was the last time you bought a TV?
Yeah,
now you can walk in and they're like on sale for $300.
Yeah.
And it's like an 80-inch. We're like, okay, yeah, sure. We'll
Sounds
throw that
great.
downstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not a big deal.
I think the bracket should stay because I feel like it is in the wall. It's going to leave a mark. Why put yourself through that? They're not that expensive.
Yeah.
And,
Don't put yourself through that.
don't do it. Just leave the bracket.
But you have to make sure that the buyer is going to be aware that you are leaving that. So make sure that is in writing somewhere, if it makes it into the purchase and sales, that the personal property of the TV is being removed, but the bracket is staying.
The bracket is staying. That's a big one. Yep, that's a biggie.
Enclosure. Enclosure. It says ensure. Sorry. Ensure cleanliness and proper removal of cellar belongings. So broom cleaned in Massachusetts typically means swept floors, wiped surfaces, empty cabinets, and no debris. Confirm no agreed upon items are missing. So appliances, fixtures, window treatments, mirrors, anything specific in the purchase and sales must remain.
It should have been disclosed in the beginning. I had one once where the seller was like, "Oh no, I can't leave that light fixture over the dining room table. That was my grandmother's."
Yeah.
Like, well, we should have put that.
Yeah, you should have put that in the.
Yeah, that's a disclosure that that's coming with us, and it then needs to be replaced. Mm-hmm. Another one that I replaced the light fixture over the table for the buyer.
Oh,
I'm like, yep, we didn't know, our fault. Just go pick something out.
Yeah. But now you have that conversation with your seller when you come in and you do your analysis and, you're ready to come on the market and you say, is there anything in the house that is like a fixture? You explain what a fixture is.
Yep.
That
you built in.
would typically stay with the house, but you want to take with you.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, oh, the chandelier in the foyer.
That was my mother's.
That was a replica of the Tiffany from the Titanic, and you like that would probably be me, I have a replica somewhere.
Yeah.
And you just make sure that you say those things because you don't want to get to closing and be like, okay, there's no lighting
to that
here
really
anymore.
Beautiful light fixture that I loved over the table.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of things that can happen.
Yeah.
Built-ins too.
Built-ins.
Yeah. Like we had a 3-piece bookcase that was freestanding in our study upstairs. And when we did the basement over, we moved it downstairs and built it into the wall. So now it looks like a built-in, but the other half of it is on the other side of the basement, like where we store stuff.
Yeah.
So, but it is staying forever because we built it into the wall. But it used to be a freestanding piece of furniture.
Oh, interesting.
But now it's staying.
It stays.
That will be
so when
disclosed.
they sell the house.
Yeah.
That stays.
That stays. So you got this beautiful built-in bookcase downstairs. It worked great. Yeah.
I think we see it a lot with like bars.
So pool tables.
Yes, pool tables, bars. If there's cabanas, we see a lot of like, is the refrigerator in the cabana staying?
Yeah.
Is
pool equipment.
Pool equipment.
Pool equipment's another big one, especially with, obviously the filter and all that is going to stay, but there's a lot of other things that go along with a pool, like the vacuum cleaner and the little automatic tattoo.
That's why it's so important to have a buyer's agent that represents you because if you are purchasing a home that has a pool and you've never owned a home with the pool, you have no idea, like you don't just show up one day and say, okay, now I have a pool. Like you have to maintain it.
Yeah, have to maintain it. You want to make sure
you have to maintain it.
Yep.
And a lot of the times the seller already has those things that you need to maintain it. So you work that into your
you work
offer.
it into your offer, or or the seller comes up with a price that they're like, well, I will sell you all of my furniture around the pool that I'm obviously not taking with me because wherever I'm going, I'm not having a pool. But then there are things, and then a lot of times I'll just say to the seller, like, you don't want to take it with you. Like, think about the things that you like. Do you really want to move this? Like, I understand that you wanted
all your
to
pool
sell
chemicals.
I understand that you wanted to sell it, but in this case, they don't want it. Do you really want to move it?
Yeah.
Or just leave it as a gift type thing? So sometimes I'm like, think ahead of what you would like to leave, what you don't want to take with you. But the buyer has to be okay with that. You can't just decide, I'm leaving this and you're going to love it. No, that does not how that
when
works.
I bought my house and I was going through the I had already had my accepted offer, and I remembered, I was like, oh, there was this like really heavy, solid piece of furniture downstairs, this like dresser. And I loved it. And I was like, oh, this is so like my aesthetic. And there wasn't a lot of furniture in my house, when they were selling it. And so Sharon was a listing agent. So I said, hey, could you ask your seller if they would be willing to sell that dresser townstairs? And I'm sure it would have been a pain to get out of the house because it was a pain to bring it upstairs. Took two very strong men to bring it upstairs, and that's where it will stay until the day that I die. But she said that, I could just have it. But it was part of her bedroom set when she got married. Like, it was a wedding gift.
Oh,
yes.
That's so nice.
And it was the only piece that she had left of her wedding set.
Oh.
And she let me have it. It's a very solid, and I love it. I love it so much.
Is it your dresser?
It's my dresser.
Oh, it's your dresser. Yeah.
But it has like the sort of shallow, like I keep like my socks and things in that. Like, and it's shallow drawers, and then there's one drawer that looks like two, but it's the big drawer, but it's just solid dark wood, and I love it so much. But that was something that I was like, oh, I would offer you money for it.
Correct.
I didn't know the sentiment behind it. And then once she was like, oh, yeah, you can have it. But by the way, I'm like, oh,
which
my
is
gosh,
lovely.
which is so lovely.
But she didn't want to move it.
She didn't want to move it.
She don't want to move that piece.
So there are things where, you can walk through a house that you either have an accepted offer on or, are thinking about it. And you can include that in your purchase, or you can offer, hey, if you're willing to sell, please let me know if you're willing to sell X, Y, and Z and things like that.
Yeah.
There was one time I did
my favorite part of the whole.
No,
not my,
because I don't want to be involved in that.
It's just, and I understand.
But it happens all the time.
It happens all the time. It goes back and forth. People see stuff, or you walk in and the house is just lovely, and you're like, I just want to move into it the way it looks right now because I love what you've done here, and I want. But then it becomes a back and forth, and then money has to go back and forth, and then
I don't want to be involved.
You just kind of become like an in-between person.
Yeah.
That's like, well, they would like this. Well, they already sold that. Well, how about that? No, they. No. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm all done.
Yeah. Let's talk about what sellers should not leave behind. So unwanted items that cannot be left. So what are some things that that sellers shouldn't be leaving behind without permission?
I find most of those things are either going to be in the basement or the garage.
Yes.
Because they don't even know what they have in there. Like when you do a project and you leave the extra tile or the extra paint or the extra shingle or lawn equipment that you're probably not going to be using moving forward. These are, it adds up.
Excuse me.
And if the buyer doesn't want them, they've got to go.
Yeah.
Like that one that I had where we dropped the safe and we were all trying to get that. The garage was filled with like gardening stakes.
Yeah. Don't assume.
No. Little fences, lots of shingles, old wood.
Yes.
My car was chock filled with
Yeah.
stuff that was, And the agent was there like, no, they're not going to want that. They're not going to want that. That's got to go. It's got to go. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
I realized I did not do a great job with my final walkthrough because I didn't take enough time outside. And so I still have yet to get rid of some of the things that I'm like, why is this here?
Why?
Like,
yep.
Why? I don't like
I
this.
look at our garage and I'm like, oh, this is
What
going
is
to
this?
take
Why?
forever. But I do think it's important, like the paint. That
Yes.
you're going to want to keep the paint because if you're going to do some touch-up work and you're not committing to like painting the room, I think leaving the paint is a great idea.
Well, it's on my unwanted list.
Really?
Well, so you should ask.
Yep, you should still ask.
You should ask. So old paint cans, unless the buyer explicitly requests them
Mm-hmm.
or you offer them. But, I think a lot of the times people like to paint their own house.
Yep. But I think the paint just, I'm not saying like copious amounts of paint. But
I mean, if you painted it cherry red and someone comes in there like, yeah, this is not.
yeah, I don't
my
need cherry
aesthetic.
red paint in the basement.
No.
But trim
so-
paint, like certain types of
Yeah.
paint. Trim paint. If your
Ask.
whole downstairs is a neutral color, like our whole downstairs is basically one color.
Not the tree.
Not the tree. No, but that is going to become a very neutral.
Yeah.
That tree's going.
Yeah.
We've had long discussions about the tree. And, that tree's got to go.
Oh my gosh. That's so
The
funny.
dogwood tree in our foyer. That
Yeah.
Everybody, I have people that know when I do the radio show, they're like, what kind of a tree do you have in your foyer? And I'm like, yeah. It's a hand-painted dogwood tree that goes up 2 stories.
Yeah.
So
It'll be gone.
It's got to
It'll
go.
be a neutral color.
Yeah, it will be neutral out. But like that, like our whole, so that paint can, I would think, should stay because we just painted. It's
Yeah.
neutral.
Yeah.
It's, if you needed to touch up, it's there.
Perfect.
Type thing. But yes, but you do need to ask.
Oh, I would say always ask.
Always
no
ask.
matter what.
Old tile, small hand tools. How about the people that have workbenches in their basement, like a real workbench that has a vise that's actually attached? Like that'd be really hard
Yeah.
for somebody to get rid of, for a seller to get rid of, because it's probably heavy. It's probably been there forever, like the pencil sharpener.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's
Do
built
you
in.
have one? Does anyone have one? Are we the only people?
Yeah.
Hazardous materials, so chemicals, oil, propane tanks, construction debris from DIY projects. So if you are a DIYer,
Yeah.
and
Like I said,
maybe
the old
not
wood.
so great at it,
That you have a lot of extra.
they probably don't
Building
want.
supplies.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably don't want the building supplies because they might be redoing it. But if it's great and you need some extra things, I would say to leave behind the screens if there's extra screens for the
Yeah.
windows and things like that.
We don't have screens in our front windows. I just don't like the look of the screen in the front window. We painted the windows black,
Yeah.
blacked out the windows, and then when we put the screen up, you couldn't even see them. So it's a really good question. Always ask
Yeah.
about the screens and make sure that they are somewhere in the house.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting because there is a piece of glass in my basement and it has a sticky note on it that says storm window for window next to front door, which is, I have a narrow, the tall, narrow.
Like a little transom.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not sure where the storm would, I'm not
Where would that piece of glass go?
I'm not sure
That would
because it doesn't, it would fit perfectly there, but I'm not, it won't.
How would you attach it?
How do you attach it? So I'm like, did
No.
it used to be a different door? I'm confused.
So
I don't know. I don't know. Was it for somebody else's house? Because
Yeah, maybe.
so I didn't realize that. But I look at it every single time I'm on that side of the basement, and I think about it. I say,
it does
how-
look like it would fit. You're gonna have to try
but
it.
that window I have has the the what are they called? The pieces of wood that's in the.
slats. The
I'll show you a picture.
yeah.
But I'm like, but it's just one panel
glass.
and I'm like, where would this go?
Did you super glue it in or bungee cord it on?
Yeah, there's
or
no
attachment.
frame attachment thing. I don't know where it would go. So help.
Yeah, but those are like the house that we're selling right now. They had screens in their sunroom windows, but they also have storm windows.
Yeah.
that are also in the basement. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I made sure that those were there.
Broken furniture or appliances, patio items, or kids' play structures the buyer didn't agree to keep. Oh, so swing sets.
Oh, swing set. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food, cleaning supplies, or anything in cabinets or closets. So I would say don't leave anything if you don't have permission to.
Yeah. Nope. Assume nothing.
Assume nothing.
Nothing. And
you know what they say when you assume.
When you assume.
Why sellers must be careful. So buyers expect a completely empty home unless otherwise negotiated. Sellers often, so that other walkthrough, the same walkthrough I went for Kristen in the Plymouth house, there was a picnic table outside. It was not supposed to be there. It was supposed to be removed, and it was talked about several times, to the point where I was told by Kristen, hey, just so you know, if there's a picnic table there, it is not supposed to. I turned the corner, and I could see it right through the window.
You're like, and there's the picnic table.
And there's the picnic table. Ultimately, the buyer, everything else was great. So he said, you know what, I'll just cut it up myself and I'll get rid of it. It's not the big deal. But I'm like, oh my
it was
God.
in the burning pile.
But I was like, you got to get rid of that. And so that's what I said to the listing agent. I said, I'm sorry, but you have to figure out how to get rid of that. And our clients had already moved out of state. Like, I don't know. It was talked about several times during the transaction.
I figured
to remove it.
At that point, the seller just takes I think you just get to that point where you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've gotten rid of everything I can get rid of. I don't have the time. I don't have,
But here's the thing. They got away with not having to take care of it.
Yep.
Because Kristen's buyer was so nice.
And especially where it was discussed.
It was discussed several times to the point where I was alerted.
You're like, oh, please.
So buyers, so sellers often underestimate the cost or time needed for a full clean out. Dumpsters, junk removal companies, and same-day pickups may be needed. So if you are a seller and you know that there's a lot of things that you're going to have to get rid of,
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. Get a dumpster, junk removal companies, same-day pickups, things like that.
In the town, like in this case, my sellers know that the town does one day a week that you can pick up a big item.
Yeah.
So they're going to put their big items out over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of the ones that they're not taking, nor does the buyer want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 big chairs that I'm going to put outside my house, so hopefully somebody takes them.
Ooh. They'll go.
I'm hoping. Yeah, that's what Ethan said. But I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I don't want to put it out.
Oh, but it's a beautiful day today.
It is a beautiful day, but I would be nervous that somebody wouldn't get them and I have to bring them back into the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, real life South Shore examples. We talked about sort of our nightmares and things that have gone on in our real estate world.
You walk into the basement and you step into 4 or 5 inches of water. Because the sump pump let go.
Oh, a lot
5
of the
days
times
before
people
closing.
don't open the attic. Look in the attic.
Oh, I feel like that's the new. I feel like that's the new, but there are people that don't.
Some people forget that they have things in the attic and they don't take it out.
Yep. We have a ton of stuff in our
let's
attic.
talk
hockey
about
equipment. Oh my God.
Oh, really?
So much. Taylor played hockey. Not Colin.
I have nothing in my
Taylor
attic.
played hockey. So there's a hockey bag up there. God only knows what that must smell like at this point. But
I think it's time to throw it out.
because hockey has its own smell. Anybody who has kids or who played hockey know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the bag is just, there's a lot of stuff in that bag.
Oh, we have a comment on YouTube, but I don't know if I'm missing part of it, though. For me, a freshly painted basement floor and walls made me worry. That in the buyer disclosed house had been raised years ago because city pipe wasn't removing rain until they fixed it. I walked, but now regret it. I think I should have taken the risk.
Oh.
I think there might be another comment above it that I might be missing, but hold on. Oh, you talk for a second.
Yep. All right. I'll talk for a second. Yeah, I think, what's it say? Literally sitting about apple. Oh, fruit trees. Oh, I actually
What about
did have
apple and
somebody
fruit trees in the backyard? Keep or remove for the buyer.
I regret when we sold our house in our first house we had in Hanover, we had planted a tree when Colin came home from the hospital, and the tree is still out in front of that house, and I regret not taking that tree with us.
Oh,
and
really?
I sold a house recently, and the people did the same thing. They had planted a tree in their backyard, and they specifically wrote it into the off that they were taking.
I would think that you have to
with them.
You have to put it in writing that you're taking something like that.
You can't just dig it up. You have to put it in writing.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, like a fruit tree, like an apple tree or something that you planted. Ours was like a weeping cherry, and I love that tree. And it still looks beautiful on the front of the house. That actually a friend of ours bought our old house, so it's kind of funny. Yeah. But I regret that. I regret not doing that.
This person I don't know what this person's name is. Because I'm sure that Inda Club is not their name, but
it's their handle.
Yeah, but it makes a good point of a freshly painted basement floor and walls made me worry. So I would say ask the question of why.
Exactly. It could have been waterproofed, and it could have been done by a professional company.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like waterproofing companies that come out and take care of that. Like the seller realized they had an issue, so they just handled it. But ask for the receipt. Ask why it was painted.
Yeah.
So, that's something that could be transferable, too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I remember looking at a house early in my journey of purchasing a home, and you could tell that the sheetrock in the finished basement, like a couple feet up from the ground, had been cut and replaced. Obviously an indicator that there was water. Yep. The washer and dryer were on like crates and things like, what are they called? The wooden things.
Yep. Those
pallets. They were on pallets. I'm like, okay, yeah. There was a sump pump. It was dry at the time, but I was like, there was definitely water down here. Yep. So we went to town hall. They, had an insurance, their insurance company took care of it and stuff like that. But like,
it's tough to be in New England and not have water in your basement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I have had plumbers argue that point with me. They're like, that's not true. I'm like, I feel like it really is.
Yeah. We only have a couple minutes left. I want to give you time to give your contact information. So briefly talk about some consequences of leaving items behind. So
having to get rid of them.
Yes. Holdbacks. So money withheld at closing, a holdback. So that thing or whatever it is that's left behind can be removed.
What you did not take care of is going to impact you financially because they will hold back money at the closing until you deal with it. Yeah.
Until you deal with it. That monetary value has to be agreed upon, but it has to be a reasonable amount. Closing delays. It could delay the closing if the buyer's just like, no, I'm not purchasing this house with all these things left in there.
Yep.
Buyer may refuse to sign until cleanup is arranged. Attorney involvement leading to tense negotiations.
Yes.
We have so many other things that we could talk about. And we stayed on topic today.
I know.
Much.
We didn't really digress.
Round of applause for us.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a moment to give your contact information? I have been requested that you give your phone number twice, not just yours and Jim's, so everyone can hear it more than once.
Oh, right.
So how can everybody get in touch with you if they want you to help them with their final walkthrough?
You can reach me at 617-620-8484. That is 617-620-8484. Or you can reach me at Tracy, Tracy, at bostonconnect.com.
Perfect. Yeah. And you can always go to bostonconnect.com and find all of our contact information.
We're all there.
You can find Jim's contact information as well. That is Tracy's husband. They make up the Grady team here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
My sidekick.
Your sidekick. And you're my sidekick. And then sometimes Sharon's my sidekick. And then sometimes it's Kristen. Anybody.
We're interchangeable here.
Yeah, we are. But again, you can go to bostonconnect.com to find all of our contact information. We do have some open houses this weekend, so be sure to follow us on social media. Boston Connect Real Estate, Sharon Costa McNamara, everywhere. We're on Facebook and Instagram. So be sure to follow us so you can find out where your next home is going to be.
Yes. Fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know it was last minute, but I always appreciate you joining.
Oh, no. Always my pleasure. Yeah. Gets me up and moving early in the morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you too, ladies.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next Saturday. Oh, no.
No?
Yes. Well, maybe. See you next Saturday. Bye.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood.